Hi Flosstube! Welcome to Stitching with the Waves. I'm Jennifer and this is my channel all about cross stitch and a little bit of quilting since I started doing that during the whole pandemic times. And I have some diamond painting to show you today too, just all kinds of stuff. We've really, I think with the Christmas season coming and it getting colder outside, we've been spending a lot more time inside and just wanting to do all the crafty, cozy things. So I don't have as much stuff piled up here to show you today because I feel like I've focused on a few projects and really made a lot of progress on them rather than kind of sporadically working all over the place on everything. So that's been great. But that being said, I do not have any FFOs. I did not focus on fully finishing any cross stitch projects. I do really need to get down to business on that because I have a bin I keep right over here and it was overflowing out the top. It looked horrible in the corner of my video. So I was like, just move that bin over so it's not in the shot. But what I really need to do is just sit down and get that stuff FFO'd so I can show it to you and display it and all of that. So that'll be a goal for next time. I do have a finish to show you. So I went ahead and I cannot find the picture from the pattern of this, but it's finished so you can see what it looks like. I did do a lot of changing of the colors, so just keep that in mind. So this is from Fleur de Lin, which is a French designer. She has a website where you can purchase the PDFs of her patterns, and this is the January cottage of the month, and this is my 12th and final month that I stitched. So it came out fantastic. I've been using the kind of the same color pattern, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a long video if I can't get the words out today, y'all. I've been using the same color palette for all of my winter pieces that I've been doing. So they'll kind of coordinate together a bit. So once I get all of those pieces fully stitched and finished and all that, I'll show them all to you together like I did for my autumn pieces, just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not using the same fabric or exactly the same floss for everything, but I'm trying to stick to kind of the same color palette so that they all coordinate in the end. So this is January, and let me take a quick peek. I think, yeah, all I did on this was just switch up the colors. I didn't make any other changes to that, but it came out super cute. And I think we're on autofocus. It looks like it's focused to me, but it's hard to tell. Thank you to everyone who stuck with me with last week's focusing issues in the first like 10 minutes. I did not realize how bad they were because the screen I see on here is so tiny. In my bad eyesight, it's kind of hard for me to tell. So it wasn't until I started really trying to hold things up and closely focus that I even noticed it was on the wrong type of focusing or whatever. But this is my 12th cottage. Done with these. I'm super excited. I actually stuck to my plan and accomplished it of stitching one of these a month, except for this last month in November, I stitched both December and January. I wanted to go ahead and get this one done so that in December, if I wanted to do a lot more Christmas stitching or focus on other things, I could, and I would have all of my cottages complete. And I was able to go to the store 2 days ago. I was able to get out to Joann's and I got some fabrics and other things to work on FFOing my projects. So yay, because I didn't really have anything in my collection that went with this color palette. So that was a little bit of an issue when I sat down to try and FFO them. Once I get December and January FFO'd, I'll pull out all of the months and show them all to you so you can see how they all turned out, because I don't think I did a single one in the color palette that was called for. I did change up quite a bit of them so it would go with the decor in my house. And so it'll be fun to show you those and see all of like the whole collection together. All right, moving on to whips. So one of my motivations for getting January done was that if I could get some of these projects that, you know, have like a deadline for winter stitching and kind of get some of the things that I really want to finish before the end of the year just quickly finished off, then I could open up some space in my schedule to stitch another Christmas thing or two. So once I got January done, I was like, all right, gonna reward myself. And I also had, my plan for that weekend was last weekend was to stitch January and then to also FFO my Christmas quilt. But I had a bit of a crisis. My iron died. And Not only did that mean that I couldn't make the binding for the quilt because I needed to iron it, it was also sad because that iron was ancient, you guys. It belonged to my grandmother first. And my mom, when my grandmother passed away in 1991, so it's probably from the 80s. My grandmother died in 91, and then my mom took it. She had it for a few years. When I left for college in 94, she's like, oh, here, you can take this iron and I'll buy myself a new one. So I have had that iron my entire adult life. I've never had to have another iron or anything, and it just, last weekend, Saturday morning, turned it on, it wouldn't heat up. Was not having it, wasn't gonna work. So there was a bit of a drama ordering. I was like, I just went on Amazon. It's like, I'll just order one and it'll be here tomorrow and then I can finish the quilt on Sunday. Well, late in the day, or maybe it was when I woke up Sunday morning, I got a notification that there was a problem with the shipping and it was being returned to the warehouse and I was not going to be getting the iron. So I went back on Amazon, looked for a different iron. I found one that had really good reviews, that was the same brand as the one that I had forever and it died. So I was like, okay, good, maybe that one will be good. And it had the option for same day shipping. So it did come by 9 p.m. on Sunday, but by that point I couldn't do anything with it. It got here too late in the day for me to have any time to be working on the quilt. So I've got it. I don't love it, I will say. It's okay, it's fine, but I don't love it. I have seen recommendations for the cordless ones that I've noticed in the quilting videos I watch. So many people use the cordless ones. So what I did was add a cordless one to my Christmas list. So fingers crossed, somebody in my family gets me an iron for Christmas. And that will be my quilting, crafting, cross-stitching iron. And this one that I have that's less expensive and I don't like as much will be for messy stuff, like the iron-on interfacing. I have made the mistake, even though I try to triple check, and I put the bumpy side of the iron-on interfacing up one time and got it all over the iron. That was a mess. So I had to then go on Google and find out how to clean it, but it was fine. I got it all cleaned off. It was good. But my kids also like to do, what are they called? Perler beads. It's these little beads and you set them out in a pattern. They print patterns. It's, you know, similar to cross stitch or diamond painting or whatever. You get a little colored pattern and you set them all out, and then you use the iron to melt the plastic beads together. And you do put a piece of wax paper over the top so you don't get melted bead plastic on your iron. But if I get a nice cordless iron, my kids aren't going to touch that. That's going to be like my sewing scissors, right? There's mommy's iron, and then there's iron everybody else is allowed to use. So I think that'll be good. It'll kind of protect my nice iron and give us an iron we can use for the kind of dirtier, messier stuff. So anyway, all that to say, when I couldn't finish my quilt on Saturday, I was sad, and I did some retail therapy. Bought a lot of quilting and stitchy stuff, cross-stitch stuff, and then I decided, okay, I need to rein myself in and let's try a new start. Maybe that'll like curb all of the spending. So once all my haul gets here, it hasn't arrived yet, but I'll be sure to show you everything. I can show you my new start I decided to do. So I went through, I think, was it the end of my last video or the one before that? I can't remember. In one of them, I pulled out the stack of Christmas patterns that I had that I kind of was thinking about starting this year, but I didn't get to start during Jolly July. So I went back through those and I picked out this one, which is Redwork Christmas Samplers from Christmas Cross Stitch Treasures. It's these two redwork patterns. And I had already gone through this at some point and figured out adding in color, you know, green trees, green vines, white snowflakes, things like that. Like what I figured out what I wanted to change. And I had picked out my favorite bands and arranged them all so that they will fit here, because this is where I'm putting the seasonal sampler banners from Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts, but Kristen doesn't have a Christmas version, and the winter version I'm stitching in a very, very different color palette than what I decorate for Christmas time. So the winter one is not really going to color-wise fit in with all my other decor, so I thought I could stitch this up in my Christmas color palette, put it there just for, you know, like the month or so I have Christmas stuff up, and the rest of the year this will be for the seasonals. So this was really the only Christmas pattern that I already figured out what color flosses I was using, what count of fabric I needed to use, how I was going to FFO it. I already have the finishing fabric, all of that stuff. So that kind of motivated me to pick this one. And I thought I would get it started, and I didn't have to make a lot of decisions about it. So here's where we're at. This is on 40 count platinum fabric. And on the first day, I started in the center here, which is this Christmas tree. I got in the whole tree and the vine, and I had only stitched on it for part of the day. And then on Sunday, I think I got the whole rest of that big fat band in, plus the Christmas trees above it. And that was kind of when I realized, if I focus on this thing, I could have it done this year. Like I could have it done in a couple of weeks and get it hung up here and actually be able to use it this year. So rather than starting a whole bunch of Christmassy things, this is what I've been doing all week. I don't think I've touched a single other project since I started this on Saturday, and I haven't touched, no, it started at Sunday, and I haven't touched any other cross stitch since then. So it's coming out great. I'll give you a little up close. It's stitching up a lot faster than the other sampler banners I did, because the sampler banners are on 28 count fabric over 1. And this is on 40 count over 2. So it's essentially, I'm stitching 28 count and 20 count. This is only 20, so there's fewer stitches across this way. So it just doesn't take as long to stitch it up, because the whole project is not as wide, and it's also not as long stitch count wise. They'll end up, because they're on the different count fabrics, they'll end up finishing at the same number of inches each direction. But that is making it stitch up really fast, so that's great. And I love how it's turning out. So I just have a tiny bit of stitching. I just have to add in the red berries here on the joy band. Then there's another band of vines and another band down here that is similar to this one. That's just a village in the red work. So once I've done that, it'll be done. So just another couple inches down here and it's finished. So I should be able to get that one finished up really quickly. And like I said, I already have the fabrics for FFOing it, and I know what size to cut all the sticky boards and all that stuff, so it should go pretty quick. My only issue is that when I was out at Joann's, I struggled to find ribbon. I couldn't find ribbon that coordinated with the fabric I had picked out. So I don't know. I have something in my stash that might work, so it might get kind of a temporary ribbon or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. But I didn't have time to go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or look anywhere else. I just had time to go to the one store. So hopefully I either can make something work or maybe get time to go out shopping, but I don't know. We'll have to see about that. All right, next project is winter. And this is from Stroll Through the Seasons. I am not going to attempt her French name. Is it on here? No, it's not on her email that I printed this from. But this is a free sal that she does. Her name is Mimi, and she has a French blog. If you look in the description box, all of the projects I'm working on that are from either French or Italian or whatever designers or companies, and their websites or blogs are written in a foreign language. I explain how I view them and am able to use them in the description box, and I have links to all of them, so you can look down there. So this is a free sal, and this was part, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is part 5 completed. This is the winter. So this time around was really just the top of that tree motif there, and then a few little snowflakes and other things up in the corner. And I did go ahead and the border was missing, like the piece between my fingers there. That is part of the last section that I'll be stitching, but I went ahead and went across because I screwed up somewhere down here. All this somewhere, I think between the deer and the flowers, I'm off a stitch somewhere in there. So I went over here and I got the border and I stitched the border across. So I think, is it this one or the Christmas one? One of them I messed up the border and didn't want to go back and fix it. This border looks fine. So it's the other one. I'm having counting problems, you guys. The focus has been an issue. But I got this section finished. So there's one more section here. And then she has the last motif that goes right in this area. Once you've finished stitching everything else, you email her a photo of it and she sends you that last little motif to put in. So this piece will come out next Tuesday. Today's Friday, so it'll come out Tuesday, and then I'll be able to stitch that up. As soon as I have it stitched, I can email her, get the last little piece, and get it done. So hopefully next time you see it, fingers crossed, this will be completely finished. And then I have the Christmas version of that, Noel. I don't have a printout of this one. I've always forgotten to print the email. But there we go, same thing. This tree over here and the heart and snowflake is pretty much all there was. And this is the one where I messed up on the border. So I did the same thing, took the border across the top so that I'd be able to count down from the border when I was trying to put things in, rather than going off of other things that I've accidentally gotten off a stitch somewhere and messed up. But there we go. So that is that piece. And again, the same thing. This will come out, I think it's Thursday next week, will be the last section of the pattern released. So I'll be able to email her, get that last tiny little section, and hopefully also be done with that one. Like, they're really coming along quickly. Then I just have to make 2 drums, which it takes me a long time to make a drum. Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, has a fabulous drum tutorial, and I don't know, I don't remember how long it was, if it was like 45 minutes or something, like, I don't know how, like, it takes me probably 10 times as long to make a drum, but her tutorial is fabulous, and they come out so cute. So I just need to, you know, find the time to actually make 2 drums, so that'll be tricky. All right, next one up, 101 Alphabets. I didn't do a whole lot on that one. It's from Rosewood Manor. It's huge, 4.99 by 4.99 stitches. Lifetime project right here. And all I really, can you see through that? Does it have paper behind it? I think all I did last time, since last time, is put in this vine, I think. I don't really remember where it was last time, you guys. Sorry. But there you go. That's it. I'm just trying to pick this one up occasionally. Like I said, I've gotten very sidetracked on the, with that Christmas Redwork sampler. But I am hoping to do a page a month. I don't know if that's going to happen this month, but if I can put in a little bit more time on this one, I'll probably get at least half a page this month, which is better than nothing. Keep it moving, keep it moving. All right, last cross stitch whip is the Winter Sampler Banner from Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. Oh yeah, I focused a little late. And that's gonna go up here on the shutter when it's done. I dyed the fabric on this one myself. And it is a 28 count Monaco that I used navy blue, no, I used charcoal gray Rit dye, and that was too purpley gray, so I added a little bit of navy blue in with it, and then it kind of went a little bit blue, more blue, but it's fine. I mainly needed something that was dark enough in kind of a blue-gray color so that all of the white and pale gray colors show up. So that one have been kind of picking it up and doing a band at a time as I can. But with this 28 count fabric, the Monaco is 100% cotton, and when you dye it, it does shrink up considerably. So this one is just a little bit trickier and going slower for stitching it than the other ones have. The other ones I've mainly used, I think the autumn one, actually I did dye it, but I don't think I soaked it as long. You know, I was trying to get this darker, and with doing the double color, it was in there and it soaked longer and it shrunk up more. So it's just, I'm doing it 28/1, but it's probably more like 30/32. And so just getting the needle in the hole and really having to push it through, it just, you know, on that Christmas Redwork sampler, it's on 40 count, it's over 2, and the thread just glides right through and it's very quick. This one's just, it takes that much longer for each stitch to just find the hole and get it through. So it's going a little bit slower. But I don't need it until after Christmas, so that's fine. I've still got, 6 weeks or so. And once I'm finished with that Redwork sampler, I need to get better about putting this one back into the rotation, either stitching a band every other day or something, just, get it somehow really focus on working on it. But I do find that because the holes are so tight on that fabric, I kind of need a break and I need to rotate it with other stuff. So that's all my cross stitch whips. Let's talk about Petit Point now. I have my Kansu Destiny Knot carpet from Making Miniature Chinese Rugs and Carpets, and it is moving along. So I think last time I showed you, I was working on right up here, the widest band up there, and that is the last band of the project, of the rug. Once that band is completed around the outside, then I'm ready to just add the fringe onto it and it's done. So I can see really have just started it. I did this top part, going across the top, I did one color. Like I went in and did all of one blue color, and then I went back and did all the other blue, and then did a third blue, and then went back and did the white. And it was a lot of counting and took a lot of time to get across. So going down, when I turned to the corner and started coming down the side here, I did have to frog this corner, because as I had done the top section, I realized that I had miscounted and messed it up. So I frogged that out, and then I decided to do parking. So you can see I have all 4 threads coming out there, and that's going better, I think. It's easier because once I get 2 colors in, I can kind of put the other 2 colors in without having to look, and it's just easier for me to keep track and make sure that I haven't made any counting mistakes on it. So hopefully that's going to keep going well. I don't have any deadlines on that one. I'm stitching it for my house. Like, it is what it is. It'll get done when it gets done. So moving on, let's talk about diamond painting real quick. We have gotten, like I said, back into a lot of crafty stuff with the kids since it's gotten colder, and they just, I don't know, kind of gotten in the Christmas spirit. So my daughter had been working on these little animal stickers that are diamond painting. These are such a good size for her. She loves to work on these just by herself. And they're a good, she can do one of them in an evening, and like it's a good amount of diamond painting for her to get done in one evening. I feel like she's accomplished something. So she finished up, we had a whole package of these, and she pretty much finished them up. So we went online on Amazon and found Christmassy ones. So she's done the bell and the tree. You can see how sparkly they are. And I think she's also done this one up here. Yeah, the candy cane is also finished. So she's got Santa, hide my face. She's got Santa and the snowman left to go. And no, Santa and the reindeer left to go. I think there was a snowman up here that she cut out and gave to her sister. So that's been great. And while she does that, I have been working on her flamingo. So that's the finished picture of it. And you can kind of see from back here, the corners, the edges are all these muted colors, like grays and mauves and light blues. And in the center is all the really vibrant dark blues and vibrant pinks and things. So I have been focused on those corners. So nice, guys. That didn't even work. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so you can see pretty well, I think, the diamond situation, and you can kind of see them sparkling there a little bit. So I've filled in a lot of them around the edges. I think the gray color I have completely finished. So that's good. And she does come over, she'll finish up working on one of her little animals or Christmas motifs, and then she'll come over and sometimes put in some of the diamonds on the flamingo with me. So it's moving along. Like, I think it's a big project for her, and she can't stay motivated because she needs the smaller finishes. So that's been great. All right, so then my big finish, you guys, moving on to quilting. I did finally get that iron, and during the week managed to find time to complete the Christmas throw. So this thing is monstrous. I am not going to be able to unfold it for you. I'm just gonna kind of hold it up here. Okay, so what I just showed you, that you can see there, that's a quarter of the blanket. I put it on the sofa to take a picture of it, and my 9-year-old, it was folded in quarters, and my 9-year-old climbed underneath it and was completely hidden under it, folded in quarters. You couldn't even see her in the photograph at all. So that was kind of funny. I did not intend for it to be this large. I had made the butterfly blue version of a throw over the summer. That was the first quilt I'd ever made. And I don't know, I guess I felt like when I was making it, oh, this doesn't seem very big. And so when I did the planning for this Christmas quilt, I thought, oh, I should make it bigger. So I think this is like 70 by 80 or 90 or something. I don't know what I was thinking. It doesn't need to be this big. It's massive. It's super heavy and humongous. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. I love it. The back fabric, the backing is the mint green with the ornaments and the trees. And so is the binding as well. And I did this, it's 100% by machine. I didn't do any hand binding. I did on my very first butterfly quilt, try to do a little bit of hand binding, and I decided immediately that's a no right now, not for me. I might in the future try it, but I would only do it if I get it all pieced and quilted and feel like it's a really nice quilt. This has so many mistakes in it. It's full of so much knowledge and learning. You wouldn't believe, but it's fine. You can't, like, nobody, I mean, I'm not ever gonna let a real quilter look at it up close. From far back here on the video you can see it, but that's it. But I love it. It's beautiful and it's just fine. I love, you know, after they're washed up, I love the crinkly look to them. A couple of things I would do differently. These center squares I would do as the white fabric as well, just because that's the look I like. I love having I love the look of quilts that have a lot of white in them. And so I think I would love this even more if it had a white center with the fabrics around the edge and then the white again with the little square in the bottom. I think that would make it a look that I really enjoy even more. I would also probably try to put a thin border strip around before I put the binding on. But this thing was already so monstrous, it didn't need to have any more. I did think about, it wasn't quite enough to split into 2 rows. And I didn't have enough fabrics to make a few more squares to make it into 2 throws, and I didn't want to get more, and I was like, I'm just finishing this thing. We're just getting it done. It's my second quilt ever. Just do it, get it done. It'll just be big. Who cares? So that's it. The other thing I would do differently, like I was saying, I love the scrunchiness of it when it gets all scrunched up in the dryer. And the quilting I did on it, I just followed a 1/4 inch on either side of all the seams. But hi.
Hi.
Is class over or just on break? No.
Just on break. Can I take this? I'm cold down.
You can take it. Hold on, I have to finish saying one more thing about it. So the stitching on the skinnier strips is very close together, but here it's like 4 inches apart, and so the centers are kind of puffy compared to the rest of my quilt, which is all scrunchy. So I might, in the future, if I use this pattern again, figure out some sort of quilting to do in the center so it gets scrunchier. Okay, bye, it's going. I can't keep a hold of that thing. So I finished it yesterday and took some pictures of it, threw it in the washing machine, put it in the dryer. As soon as it came out of the dryer, my younger daughter was like, oh, is it done? Wraps it around her body and leaves with it. She slept with it last night, and I was like, oh, I was gonna like fold it and put it on the back of the sofa so it can be on display in our family room. As you can see, I need more quilts. I need to make another one because they're just gonna fight over that one, and I still don't have a Christmas quilt because they both are gonna take it. So I'm glad that they love them, and like I'm not making them to just have them sit around and be pretty, and they're not at all like a quality to just be on display, but you know, I intend to use them, but like I was like, oh, it could be on the sofa, and then I can sit under it on the sofa and like have my Christmas quilt and do my Christmas stitching and have the Christmas lights on the tree. No, it's gonna be gone. The kids are gonna have it. So anyway, add more Christmas fabric to my shopping list so I can make myself a quilt. All right, let's talk about haul. I have an odd mishmash of stuff because I feel like I've been doing a lot of retail therapy lately. Oops. And that is what it is, right? So the first one's not so much retail therapy. This was just Cross Stitch Magazine. I got a subscription to it because I haven't had one in the past. I don't know, I haven't felt like there's been a ton of projects that I would love to do, and I haven't been sure it's really worth getting. My library used to have a subscription to it, but that stopped a few years ago. So for a while there, I was just, you know, using the library subscription. My daughters both are in Girl Scouts, and in the fall they sell magazines and candy and things like that to raise money for their troop. So this year I decided I'd get a cross stitch magazine from one of them and a quilting magazine from the other. So the cross stitch magazine arrived, And I'm sure by now you guys have seen, I know I have seen a lot of floss tubers showing stuff, but I just wanted to show you, I think I have 3 patterns that I haven't really seen people showing when they flip through it to ones they love. So I thought I'd show you the ones I love that other people haven't already really shown much. So this is a Hardanger Holiday Card Holder by Christy Schmitz. And it, you know, it kind of looks almost like a bookmark. So this center part here is the Hardanger. And I didn't show you the Hardanger style because I haven't done anything with it. I'll talk about that in plans in a few minutes. But I thought I wouldn't do it on black, I'd do it on white. And I thought it would make a pretty wrap to go around one of the LED wax candles that I have. I thought that would be pretty. So that's one. Second one I saw is another one that could go around candles. These are holiday mug wraps. They have them around mugs, but you could totally put them around a candle. And I really love that like red and white Nordic kind of look. This is by, oh goodness, she must be Nordic. So I'm going to try my best her name. Alicia Novazilova. We'll put it up here. Her name is here. I just think that's super cute. I love the red and white kind of look. So at Christmas time, all the other time it's blue. You guys know that. All right, the last one is the Peace Sampler by Kathy Busey. I really like that one. I especially really like this wreath and the holly up at the top. I wrote candles and things like that. I would change out the blue because I don't do blue in my holiday and Christmas decorating really very much. It reminded me a lot of this piece that I did a few years ago, especially that wreath. Look at the wreath in the center. Like I felt like those would look really nice displayed next to each other. So I might, it's on the list. It's on the list of things to do, right? Okay, next I don't know if I've shown these to you guys before. I feel like maybe I've shown you one or two. 2 or 3 times a year, I get the newsletter from Miniature Needlework Society International. They are based in London in the UK. You can buy a US membership for, I believe it's 25 euros. You can buy it online, and then they have several things benefits you get, but one of them is this newsletter. So they just have amazing projects in here if you're interested in doing any sort of miniature stitching. One of the things that is in here by Natalia Frank, she put in, gotta be careful I don't raise it too high because the pattern's at the bottom, but this is a pattern for a modern Kazakh rug. So she's the pattern for that in here for free. It is 187 by 257, and you wouldn't have to stitch it in petty point. You could stitch it just regular. I will be doing it for my house as a rug. It's on 40 count. It would be 4.7 by 6.4 inches. So that'll be a good size, like basically a 4 by 6 foot scale rug. Then there's all of these. You see, there's a bunch of them showing. Yeah, here we go. This page shows them really well. People get these cabinets. These are miniature. These are probably like 4 or 5 inches tall, and they stitch the panels to go in them. Just absolutely amazing. So pretty. So pretty. Oh, the lace. People do lace to make scarves and doilies and things to go in there. Miniature scarves and doilies. Somebody did a pair of slippers down here. Look at these slippers. That's right there. Oop. Let it focus. Crazy. Super tiny. So it's just fun. It's fun to do it. There's also, so this sampler, I think, this is by Sue Resagui. Sorry, Sue. Don't know how to pronounce your last name, but this is a chart that was from Barbara and Cheryl in the 90s. It was a real life graph, and Sue recharted it and adapted it to be a 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/2 inch sampler on 56 count gauze. And that's it right there. It's beautiful. Very cute. So This also a free pattern for that in here as well. So I just thought that was interesting. If you're interested in it, you can go to the Miniature Needlework Society International website and you can join. All right, next up, a freebie pattern from Crocetta Gogo. She's an Italian designer. I believe her name is Marula, and on her blog, she posted this little freebie. And it was finished in it's like a little tiny star pillow as an ornament. So that was super cute. She had a few different colorways that it was like virtually shown as. It wasn't like actually stitched. It was like that for how, you know, you can show like digital versions of different colorways. So I just, which colorway do I want to do? I gotta decide. This one I just printed out. It's another freebie. It's just the pattern, and I don't have the picture to show you, but there is a Happy New Year, Bonne Année, in French from the same Noel and winter thing that Sal's that I'm doing for the drums. There is now a New Year version. So I don't know if I'll make a drum for that because like New Year's I wouldn't have out that much, but I thought, oh, well, I better get the Sal while it's here, right? Get the patterns and figure out what I want to do to stitch them up. Then Arlene Cohen from Works by ABC was having a sale this month. I'm not sure if it's still going on or if it's over, but I think she had 15% off all the patterns in her Etsy shop. So I went ahead and got this ornamental bauble because I've always been interested in trying to make one of these ornaments where you like stitch and use fabric and wrap it around one of the styrofoam balls and pin it. And so I thought it'd be good to have that. I would not do the green and the purple. I would do it in my normal Christmassy red and green color scheme, but it's got the template and all the directions, so I thought that would be really helpful to have, and maybe I can work on making that for next year. Then I also was online. There's a monthly online miniature show, and I was just kind of browsing around that over the weekend because I needed more retail therapy, and I came across someone, I believe that they were a new exhibitor there this month, and she had a ton, like a whole PDF file with all of these books and pamphlets and things that she, that were related to miniatures. And there was a section for needlework. So I went through and basically bought the 3 needlework ones that she had. This is Mini Cross Stitch Designs by Hazel J. Smith. Those are all the designs. This is old. You can see it's the you know, where they have like an actual printed photograph. So all of those pieces are in there. Needlecraft projects, in miniature needlecraft projects by Hank Rosenthal. It's got all sorts of different rugs and cushions and samplers and things like that that are displayed, bedspreads, all kinds of stuff that's displayed in those little rooms. So I'll look through there and see if there's any of those I'm going to stitch up. And then this one is Miniature Heirlooms by Case Creations for Sherry Ann Designs. Same thing, just tons of fire screens, pillows, samplers, room dividing screens, bed coverings, footstools, all kinds of stuff. So let's see what I want to stitch up out of that. All right, let me see. Where's the, I have so much trouble seeing this thing. I think we're at 38 minutes. So, all right, let's do the floss real quick, and then maybe we'll do a few of these other things I have, and then we'll move on. All right, so this is the Rustic Red Floss Fix from Fat Quarter Shop. Got 6 rustic red colors to use, so that's exciting. There we go, so pretty. Perfect timing for all my Christmas projects I have. And then I also have an heirloom piece that I am working on designing, and I have been working on it for, I think I got the idea in like late 2018, and so 2021 is the year we're gonna figure it out, guys. It is not easy. I lost my white paper. I always lose my white paper somehow. I always put it in the stack of finished stuff, and I'm like, I'm not done with that. So I ordered a few different colors of blue threads because I'm trying to find the right blue threads, and getting to a needle workshop in person is just not gonna happen right now. So I'll show you these 2 first. These 2 were some Weeks Dye Works colors. I need a dark color and a lighter color. And can you see them? So this one is dark and it's pretty, and I thought it would be a good candidate. It's just not as variegated as the online photograph. And then this one has too much green in it. It's still blue, but it's just more of a green blue. So not quite what it's looking like. Both of those will go in my stash so that I can include them in 101 alphabets, because I'm just going through, and as I stitch along, I pick up whatever blue floss color strikes my fancy and put that in for that alphabet. So that will go in that collection so that I can use that in that project. And then I also got 2 Gentle Arts colors, Midnight and Cornflower. And I think these are gonna be the winners for the project. So what I need to do is pick out the fabric that I want to use, or that I think I want to use. And then I'm gonna use these 2 floss colors to stitch something small on that fabric color and see, and make sure that I love it. Make sure I love the count and all the things. And then I will order a whole bunch of this thread because I'm gonna need a lot of skeins. But if this, I just want to test it first and make sure it's right before I start stitching this massive project. So once we get around, once I know everything's all for sure, I don't have the pattern finalized yet, but coming up 2021, stay tuned. Big pattern, big things coming. Okay, so those are my blues. Love the blues. Then that's everything, right? That's all the things. All right, what are we at again? All right, I'll just show you a few. So I have been printing PDFs again, guys. I gotta stop because I have so many PDFs on the computer. I think I might have gone through and printed them all now, but I've kind of actually lost track and I don't even know if I've looked through all the folders and printed everything I might want to stitch. I just wanted to have it out as paper because I feel like it just on the computer it's never gonna happen. I am still making a video.
Can you pause it? I want to go to the school and get lunch.
Okay, I'll be back after I get her lunch. We'll go through a few of these and then I'll talk about plans. All right, I am back from picking up school lunch. So let's go through a few of these PDFs I found on my computer that I mainly, I think they're like freebies, you know, from different designers and stuff. So this one is from the Work Basket and it is Quaker Acorn, super cute. And this one's also from the Work Basket, just called Blue Flower. This one is, just says Textile Collection, Berthy Smith Sanders.
Mom, this is vegetable juice.
Okay, drink it anyway, it's healthy. Taste it. This says it's motif from a Dutch sampler. Very pretty. I was thinking that might stitch up well to go in one of my boxes over here. And then this is Goodbye Swallows from La Comtesse de Pointe-à-Court. And I was thinking that just this, like without the words up there, just this section here might make a really nice autumn band to go around the candle.
Taste this.
The vegetable juice is a no. Okay, taste test time. Yeah, it's not that great. Okay, moving on. And then these are all from Anne Le Petit Croix. She is another French blogger. And you can see cute little sampler up there. So focus, there we go. Cute little sampler. I thought that would be good for springtime. Put in here. And then here is Christmas right there. These are all from Anne. And I was thinking, you know, split that into 2 maybe somehow, and hopefully it would fit in like one of these longer rectangle sections. This is one I could stitch just in blue and it would be good for all year long. Oh yeah, that one, that little needle roll thing they made shows up a little better there. And that's got all sorts of little scissors and motifs like that. All right, this one is another one that I think would be good. It's called Tree Sampler. It's just a tree full of birds. There you go. That would be another one that I could do in blue and would be good for all year long. This is, what has it got? just like different little floral motifs basically. So it would, I think, be very pretty in like a summer or springtime colorway. This one is just a sampler that I also would like to do in blues. And that one might go in, let me see here, which one is it? Oh, it's kind of covered up by the house. This one here, the center dividing piece was broken. So you can still see kind of a darker line where it was, but it's actually a much longer rectangle this way because the center dividing piece was broken. And then this one just says needle roll, but it's got chickens and little baskets and a house. So it would be good for like a summer or even like a fall harvesty sort of time. It looks like I printed that one twice. And then she has a series of hearts, which I'm not a huge fan of the heart shape, but I was thinking I could just extend, they're all in bands. So this one is summer. I tell you, this is Hearts of Summer. So I could just extend each of those bands out a little bit further and make it a band sampler. And that could potentially fit really well in the tray as well. And then, so that was a summer. Here's a Valentine version. Winter version. And then this one is a house with all sorts of house trees, kind of a pastoralish one. This is the autumn heart, which it doesn't show up very well because it was stitched on dark fabric. That's the autumn. This one I thought my daughter might like. That's cute. It's just all sorts of cats. Cats and cat heads. Super cute. And then this is little squares, the patchwork square motif. This is the spring heart. And a blue patchwork sampler situation. What do they call that? Game board kind of look to it. This is another Christmas version. And that is all from Anne. So I think that's probably about half the stack. So I think I'm just gonna leave it there. Now I need to find my phone because, oh, we gotta do plans first. Plans. Okay, what a mess, you guys. I'm a disaster right now. The break to go get lunch has thrown me off. Okay, so my priorities right now for the rest of November, I need to get several things FFO'd. I have the ornaments for my daughters that I finished stitching quite a while ago. We put the Christmas tree up last weekend. I still don't have the ornaments FFO'd, so I really need to get that done. I finished the Christmas quilt, so now I really want to try and get the Christmas tree skirt. I showed you the fabric in the last video, and I think I've read through the pattern. I think it's gonna hopefully be pretty quick, actually. So I was hoping that maybe I can get that done since it's, you know, November 20th right now. I might actually be able to have it completed this year. We just have our old tree skirt under there right now, and it's fine. It's getting worn out, but it'll work for this year if it has to. But it would be nice for like Christmas morning to have the new tree skirt ready to go. So we'll see if I can make that happen. Then I really want to get the redwork sampler finished to go up here on my shutter. That's getting very close. Hardanger. Oh, the hardanger. Thought I brought it over here, but I didn't take it out of the bag because I haven't touched it since last time. So all of the pieces have now been released for this. I lost my card again. Okay, white paper, here we go. Have now been released. So I finished the stitching, and I'm pretty sure I showed it to you just like this last time. So I have to do the cutting. Each of these 4 corners gets cutting and then gets things done in them, and I think these 4 corners out here as well. So I was trying to find time where I can focus and not be interrupted. So that's not ever gonna happen, you guys. So I just need to get brave. Hopefully this weekend I can focus on this and maybe make a little sign to go on the table and say like, do not disturb if I have scissors in my hand or something. But I think pretty much all of the parts are out for completing this. I just need to sit down and do them. So hopefully next time, the next video, I will be able to show you that. The winter sampler banner, I also need to keep working on. I need to figure out how I'm gonna work that into my rotation so I can get that done by January. And then the last thing is a new sal from Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. The Stitching Book Club, A Christmas Carol sal will be starting. I think the start date's December 3rd. So it's available either on Etsy, or she also had a new method. I think it's teachable.com is the right name for it. I know some people were having trouble purchasing it on the Teachable site and seeing the materials. I was able to buy it using my computer, and I was able to see everything, use everything, watch the videos, download all the PDFs. Everything worked perfectly for me. I think Teachable may not work very well with phones or tablets, but Kristen is running it both places. It's exactly the same. You purchase it on one platform or the other, and it's exactly the same. So if you want to get involved in that, go ahead. She has shown on the Stitching Book Club Instagram page like a little sneaky peek of what the pattern looks like. It's tiny. Oh, what was it? Was it 67 by 67 stitches? It's not big at all. The Christmas Carol is not a very long book to start with, and the pattern is also very petite in size. So I think it'll totally be doable to get it done and stitched up for Christmas. And like I said, it's small, and the sneaky peek that she put out, it reminded me a lot of this piece, of like the style of it, particularly like the wreath with the red. You know, on this piece, can you see, let's see, hide my face. Those are, there we go. Those are beads, red beads, not French knots. It was charted with French knots, but I chose beads, and I still have more of these beads. And just the design Kristen put out, it reminded me a lot of kind of this wreath design with the beads. Just something about it seemed very similar to me. So I think I'm going to use, I was trying not to use sideways, sorry. I think I'm going to use this colors from this piece to do the Stitching Book Club piece. And then I've got to decide what I'm going to do about fabric.
Can I show my thing?
Okay. Go ahead.
I finished these.
Yep, she's been doing diamond painting too, so she has her own set of the, let's see, the Christmassy ones. This set of Christmas ones was kind of cool because you can see they have like the big pearl bead that goes on the end of Santa's hat.
They're stickers.
Yeah, and these are stickers, so they peel off, and my kids were thinking maybe they will use them to decorate the front of a card that they can send to some family members for Christmas. So here you go. So anyway, Kristen just yesterday for a Christmas Carol sal released a video of how she hand dyed the fabric that she sent out in kits for the Stitching Book Club sal. So I need to watch that video and see if I want to like take a piece of fabric I have and dye it, or what I want to do. I'm not sure, because I've also, like, I want to take this piece out. I stitched this, I actually marked it. I stitched this in 2017. And this was before I ever knew about Flosstube, before I ever knew about Priscilla or Vanna's tutorials or any of it. And somehow, I don't know how, I took this apart a few minutes ago and looked, and it's on foam core, and I pinned it into the edges, and I didn't glue the extra fabric down. It's just smushed down with the backing piece of the frame. And this was just a frame I found at a thrift shop.
I see the
Yeah, there's like a thread sticking out. So it's plain. I don't like it. I want to change this up. Whether that means I just add some embellishments to the frame or I take it out. I peeked in the back to see how I had finished it because I couldn't remember. I was like, did I glue it? Am I stuck with this size? What's going on? And I have a pretty big amount of fabric around the edge because there's a pretty big margin here, and then there's a lot of fabric wrapped around the back of it as well. So I should be able to do pretty much anything with this, but it's a very white fabric. So do I want to do the other piece on white, or do I want to do a dyed fabric? I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I gotta figure that out. Okay, now she's got another project she wants to show. All the crafty things. This is just a magazine. You know, an old magazine you take and you just fold it, and that's all it is, into a nice Christmas tree. And still needs to get painted, so she'll probably work on that this weekend. All right, she's gone downstairs, so hopefully no more interruptions. All the crafty things, you guys, all the crafty. Anyway, so I gotta figure out stitching book club, A Christmas Carol, Sal. What am I gonna do? I know what flosses I wanna use, but what do I wanna do about the fabric? What do I wanna do with this wreath piece? I'm not sure. So I have a few days to figure that out, and I have plenty of fabric in my stash. I shouldn't need to buy anything. I should be able to figure it out from what I have. Okay, that seems to be everything there. So the last thing to do is the giveaway. And I did YouTube random comment picker this morning. Oh, I had one other thing I wanted to show too. Here we go. Let me see if I can make this bigger. This is a cute little picture of my doggy from this morning. Can you see it well? Wait for it to focus. There it goes. So she's sleeping on the sofa on a pillow, and that big gingerbread man is, well, actually, gingerbread girl. She looks like a man because she has legs, but she's definitely a girl. She was something my mom made me the year I was supposed to be born for Christmas, but I was 3 weeks late, so I didn't make it in time for Christmas. So she is very old. My kids love her. She's hanging out on the sofa, and the dog took a little nap in the sunbeam there with her this morning. So somebody had asked in the video, they said, I kind of remember about this time last year you adopted a dog. And she's the quietest, sweetest dog ever, you guys.
Wait,
I need that. I have to show them a picture. No,
I'm sending it
she's
to
going
me.
to text it to herself. So she's just so quiet and so sweet. She pretty much sleeps all day and just gets up to play with the kids when they're done with school. So she's super quiet. She's never in any of my videos because she's always asleep. And she's not a barker. The only time she barks is when we feed her, or if she gets stuck outside and nobody notices she wants to come in or something like that. So she is just the quietest, sweetest little girl. All right, here we go. Winner of the giveaway. We are finally there. So I was giving away Fanciful Roses sampler from the Sweetheart Tree. And the winner is Mandy Setterfield. Mandy Setterfield. So Mandy, please get in touch. You can't read it because my face is being the focus. All right, so Mandy, please get in touch with me. I am going to put my email address in the description box below, and I'll also comment on your comment, so hopefully you see it and get it there. Just send me an email with your address and I will get this out in the mail to you. And if you don't want to email me, you could also private message me on Instagram. If you are on there and follow me over there, you can do that as well. Either way is fine with me. So congratulations, Mandy, and thank you to everybody who entered. Thank you to everybody who watches. It'll be after Thanksgiving by the time I come back for my next video. It'll actually be December. So happy stitching, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I will see you next month. Bye.